Hello everyone, I hope you guys are well. Obviously, I just wanted to give you a quick update where it's 3:30 now in the UK. So I just wanted to give a quick update since obviously we gave some ideas this morning about gold and where the market was headed. So the clear thing that we were discussing this morning was obviously yesterday, gold, the market took out Wednesday's high and we had this massive impulsive move. It would have been very difficult for you as a trader to catch this move. The only really way was based on a specific daily cycle that occurs. If you know that the Asia low is not going to get run and it's been protected for the most of the day, and you could have got it based on that theory. But this trade over here would have been very difficult. But obviously, getting the subsequent move once the structure shifted is a little bit more straightforward, or can be straightforward. So we were discussing this morning that where is possibly that sell-off going to happen, and we were weighing up the balance of probabilities based on the time of week on the weekly cycle where it's going to be, whether it's going to be in the middle of the zone or it's going to be the extreme. And I did give cases for both sides that, if the obvious one is because it's such an impulsive break, you do expect middle zones to be the area that give the shift. However, it can still go to the extremes. It doesn't mean it's never going to happen, but likelihood based on the weekly cycle that we were looking at the middle zone I had identified at 64. We'd spoken about the inductions that were happening on the lower time frame. The algorithm had changed. It wasn't given just one induction, and that's why trading has been more difficult because they have changed that how the algorithm is presented in the lower time frame. As you can see, you had you had one induction here, so you had higher high, higher low, higher high. Then you had a breakdown of that, so that's the first induction, and then you had another higher high, and then you had another lower low. So second inductions, you had vertical and horizontal induction, and then price obviously at 1 o'clock we sent this trade to the channel, shifted here bearish, and you had a nice sell-off. I think this was around 250 pips in Asia. And if you were looking for it to go to the extremes, you probably could have got the buys in position. We weren't. I was looking for this middle POI to hold and actually give the long-term move. But again, you saw we got 100-point reactions, but they didn't really lead anywhere. So price then has gone on to swept this liquidity, has gone on push this liquidity into the supply zone. And again, only the people that are expecting the extreme to get hit would have been in those buy moves. People that were expecting middle zones to hold, like myself, would have been in the sells here. And obviously, it gave those reactions, but it didn't sustain. Now we have come into this zone, and what I've really been trying to figure out is this lower time frame, because the lower time frame algorithmic play right now, it has changed. As I said, it's not straightforward. So how do you know that the high has been printed that you can look for subsequent shifts? That's basically the problem at hand here. So you have to look for this that simple and complex inductions. You have to look for more than one induction. So over here you can see price was bullish, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then you got higher high, higher low, higher high breakdown. So that's one induction. Number one, let me just mark it out so everyone can see this. So you got a higher high over here, and then you got higher low, higher high. This breaks down here, price pushes down. So you've got a lower low over here. That's the first induction. You've got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low. So this again is the second induction and a box of consolidation. But if you just base it on the box of consolidation idea, you might get confused and muddle it up. So, always look for those two inductions. Then you got higher high, higher low, higher high, building up of internal liquidity. Price swipes up, swipes down, change your character. Then you got pushing off price back into the supply. You got liquidity here, higher low, lower high, lower low. That's the second breakdown. You got lower high, higher low, lower high, and then you got the third breakdown over here. And price should now be continuing to drop. And that should be the trade. I just sent this out on the channel as well. So gold uh, should drop off this zone. So yeah, Again, I'm empathizing with everyone. Trading has become more difficult, to be honest with you, because I think they realized everyone was catching on to what the lower time frame algorithm was doing, but so they've mixed it up slightly with that double induction. But you know, we'll get there. But again, just common advice, I guess, for dealing with this problem is you journal and obviously talk about these ideas out loud. Maybe start making videos because, again, even talking about this now is simplifying it because in real time, when you're watching the structures build, passively by yourself is a very difficult process. But if you can make a video and talk about it, then you can come to the right conclusion that look, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, second breakdown, then you got lower high, lower low. See, talking about it actually makes the structure on the lower time frame easier to read, and obviously you can notice the smaller details as well. So AUD USD is another one I'm looking at. I did send the entry here on the channel. Again, you got induction play here, higher high, higher low, higher high, breakdown, induction, and then you got low or high, and we did get a nice reaction, but again, decided to take this liquidity out. There's three types of inductions in this play here. So you can see higher high, higher low, higher high. First induction, higher high, higher low, lower high, low. Second induction, higher high. Third induction, and they decided to take. So you're getting minimum of two inductions. That's why it's difficult at the moment. But hope that was useful for you guys. I'll keep it all moving. Excited for the future. You know, this year's not been the easiest for me health-wise, but I'm getting back into swing of things. I think you guys can hear it in my voice. So, we're gonna push on. And like I said, big things ahead. Big things ahead for us. So I hope that was useful for you guys on the technical sides. And we'll keep it moving and pushing. So catch up with you guys very, very soon. And hope you guys are all well. And yeah, excited to be getting involved in the markets again. And I'll catch up with you all very, very soon.